glow flared into life as he inhaled, casting shadows under his brow and across his nose. I transferred the data card from the broken phone into the new one and frowned at the bands of smoke drifting toward me. "That's gonna kill you one day." "Just answer the question," he retorted. I looked away from his intense gaze and contemplated the dark tower at the end of the avenue. "I met up with our new client." "And?" said Reed. He wasn't happy to see me. Something in my voice made him stiffen. "How unhappy are we talking here?" I sighed. "Well, he stuck a sword through my heart and pushed me off the top of the Kramer building. I'd say he was pretty pissed." Silence followed my words. "That's not good," said Reed, finally. "No. It means we're not going to get the money," he added. "I'm fine, by the way. Thanks for asking," I said. He shot a hard glance at me. "We need the cash." Unpalatable as the statement was, it was also regrettably true. Small PI firms like ours had just about managed before the recession. Nowadays, people had more to worry about than what their cheating spouses were up to. Although embezzlement cases were up by a third, the victims of such scams were usually too hard up to afford the services of a good detective agency. As a result, the rent on our office space was overdue by a month. Mrs. Trelawney, our landlady, was not pleased about this. And at 5'2" and weighing just over 200 pounds, the woman had the ability to make us quake in our boots. This had less to do with her size than the fact that she made the best angel cakes in the city. She gave them out to her tenants when they paid the rent on time. A month without angel cakes was making us twitchy. "I think we might still get the cakes if you flash your eyes at her," mused my partner. I stared at him. "Are you pimping me out?" "No, you'd be a tough sell," he retorted as the car splashed along the empty streets of the city. He glanced at me. "This makes it what, your 14th death?" 15th. His eyebrows rose. "Huh, so 2 more to go?" I nodded mutely. In many ways, I was glad Hasley had entered my unnatural life, despite the fact that it happened in such a dramatic fashion. It was 10 years ago this summer. Hasley was a detective in the Boston PD homicide unit at the time. One hot Friday afternoon in August, he and his partner of 3 years found themselves on the trail of a murder suspect, a Latino man by the name of Bert Suarez. Suarez worked the toll bridge northeast of the city and had no priors. Described by his neighbors and friends as a gentle giant who cherished his wife, was kind to children and animals, and even attended Sunday service, the guy did not have so much as a speeding ticket to his name. That day, the giant snapped and went on a killing spree, after walking in on his wife and his brother in the marital bed. He shot Hasley's partner, 2 uniformed cops, and the neighbor's dog before fleeing toward the river. Unfortunately, I got in his way. In my defense, I had not been myself for most of that month, having recently lost someone who had been a friend for more than 100 years. In short, I was drunk. On that scorching summer's day, Bert Suarez achieved something no other human, or non-human for that matter, had managed before or since. He shot me in the head. Sadly, he did not get to savor this feat, as he died minutes after he fired a round through my skull. Hasley still swore to this day that Suarez's death had more to do with seeing me rise to my feet Lazarus-like again than the gunshot wound he himself inflicted on the man with his Glock 19. That had been my 14th death. Shortly after witnessing my unholy resurrection, Hasley quit his job as a detective and became my business partner. Over the decade that followed, we trailed unfaithful spouses, found missing persons, performed employee checks for high-profile investment banks, took on surveillance work for attorneys and insurance companies, served process to disgruntled defendants, and even rescued the odd kidnapped pet. Hasley knew more about me than anyone else in the city. He still carried the Glock. "Why did he kill you?" said Reed presently. He braked at the set of red lights. "Did you do something to piss him off?" There was a trace of suspicion in his tone. The lights turned green. "Well, broadly speaking, he seemed opposed to my existence." The rhythmic swishing of the windscreen wipers and the dull hiss of rubber rolling across wet asphalt were the only sounds that broke the ensuing lull. "He called me an ancient abomination that should be sent straight to hell and beyond," I grimaced. "Frankly, I thought that was a bit ironic coming from someone who's probably not that much older than me." Reed crushed the cigarette butt in the ashtray and narrowed his eyes. "You mean he's one of you?" I hesitated before nodding once. "Yes."